How we can stop COVID-19 spread at Fishers High School. Did you know that the United States has a total of 15.1 million coronavirus cases and 285,000 COVID deaths? Also, Indiana alone has 395,000 cases and 6,410 COVID deaths. That's a lot of deaths and cases since the virus has only been in the US for 9 months, which it reached US soil in late January. I want to stop COVID spread in at least Fishers High School. School has already been shut down and we are now doing virtual learning, and that is tough for some students and staff. I believe that school would run a lot smoother if we return to school again, but that would mean that we would need to take some precautions. What we need for students to return to school is for the daily COVID cases to lower. Schools worldwide have had to go from physical learning back to virtual learning. Some schools haven't even left the virtual learning stage, and the COVID-19 virus is to blame. But not entirely. The people also need to change. According to Time.com, almost 40% of respondents to a recent Ohio State University survey claimed that they plan to meet with at least 10 people for Thanksgiving. If we keep this mentality, COVID cases aren't going to drop, which means that schools won't be able to reopen again. We need people to start treating this pandemic like it's a threat to us so that we stay safer, and then we can get the word to reopen district-wide and then nationwide. What we need to allow schools to open are precautions. Schools nationwide already had the simple precautions like having a mask on, having seats being apart from each other, and having everyone sit 6 feet apart during lunch. And these precautions worked for the first month and a half. But then 1 or 2 kids got infected, and then school was canceled again, and everyone went back to virtual. So some new precautions should be placed, and some precautions are as follows. Students should keep physical contact to a minimum so that the virus spread stays low. Before you enter a class, either use hand sanitizer or wash hands well so that you don't contaminate yourself or others. Contact with the eyes, nose, and mouth should also be avoided because that is how people also get infected. Students should be recommended to bring their own lunch from home, but hot lunch will still be an option. No drinks, including water, should be allowed in class because masks would need to be taken off, and no gloves. You may ask, why no gloves? Because according to UCFtoday.com, when you have gloves on, you have a feeling of safety. So you touch your locker, you touch the tables, you touch the window, and the bathroom, and all those surfaces that you have now touched could have dangerous pathogens like the coronavirus. So then you high-five your friend, and you hug your other friend, your mom calls you, and you dig through your pocket or purse, and then you find your phone, and lastly you eat lunch. Right there, you just gave all the pathogens to your friends, which you high-fived and hugged. You also passed the pathogen to your pocket and or purse trying to find your phone. Also, you spread the pathogen to your phone when you grabbed it, and when you put it to your ear to answer the call, the pathogen is really close to your eyes, nose, mouth, and ear. And if you were to eat with your gloves on, which I'm not sure why you would do that, but okay, then you would be passing the pathogens to your mouth. So gloves should not be recommended. If people don't change and don't treat this like an actual pandemic, then we aren't going to be able to return to school, and the numbers won't stop rising. The deaths of COVID will go from almost 300K to 500K, and then to 1 million, and on and on. This wouldn't help the community, and if it doesn't help the community, well then it's not going to help schools. Also, if the precautions that the school has and some new ones aren't placed and or aren't followed, then we will just go to physical learning and get sent right back to virtual learning, and that isn't good. And yeah, some students are doing better in virtual learning than what they were doing in physical, but some other students aren't as good in virtual learning. So what we as students can do to help us return to school is for us to treat the pandemic the way it should be treated. If we start doing this, then we are helping the cause to allow COVID to start disappearing and allow us to return to school. As my math teacher said in 6th grade, if you want to see a change in the world, then the change starts with you.